When two or more criminals who are good at lying come out to expose each other, what ends the day is outmost laughter. That's exactly what happened when Senona returned back to the Madlanga Commission. Previous testimonies of people like Warrant Officer Karl Sander and former Hawks investigator Campbell Newswa has clamped down all attempts for Senona to tell lies. When things got out of hand, Senona became emotional, and something shocking slipped out of his mouth. He said the pain of losing drugs, especially cocaine, is more or equivalent to the pain of losing a son. Why should a man who said he wasn't behind the theft of the drugs said this? Why should he be so pained to make this type of statement? Something fishy has happened, and fortunately for us, Senona shot himself in the leg when cross-examined on that statement. Don't skip any part, because this is a complete compilation of every interesting scene that happened while Senona was being grilled live at the Madlanga Commission. When things like this happens, we should never forget to hail the bravery of the Madlanga Commissioners and General Mkhwanazi. If you truly support them and believe Senona should be jailed, then hit the like button and subscribe for more updates. Jabulani, roll out this wonderful clip that left the entire Madlanga in shock.
Commissioners, my heart is still bleeding with this theft. I want to see a closure here. The way this thing happened is like I've lost a son or a child. If you lose a child, it's not an easy thing to close. This happened under my watch. It is a sore that is not yet healed. It's still bleeding till today. And I'm praying day and night that the people who are responsible must be brought to book.
And this is just a comment really, at the very least, and this is from your evidence in general.
I may be getting ahead of you, please indulge me. General, you've responded to Commissioner Baloyi in general terms. I don't want to be over-technical, so I want to be specific and deal with the day in question when the suspected cocaine was stored at Port Shepstone. When it gets stored, you were there, you were present, am I correct?
Yes, I was standing in front.
And you could see that the suspected cocaine was not bagged in exhibit bags in accordance with the prescripts. I don't even need to read the instruction note. You said you are an experienced detective. You did your detective course many years ago. And I'm assuming it hasn't changed. Exhibits must be bagged. Am I correct? Is that a fair statement?
The issue of the bags came late.
No, I'm not talking about the issue of the bags. I'm talking about you understand that exhibits have to be put in exhibit bags.
Correct, Commissioner.
Without even looking at the instruction, that part you know.
I understand.
So in your presence, you saw that these suspected drugs were just being put in this safe. They were counted, these bags, one of the time, and put in the safe. And that was not in accordance with prescripts, even as you know them.
The IO, I think there is this thing of, I want to say, out of ordinarily of necessity. By then, I was standing in front of the building when they were packing these exhibits. And then I became aware when the investigating officer came to sign for the keys, in that then they recounted the exhibits and packed them and booked them in the SAP 30. And then also my brigadier was aware.
General, why are you avoiding the issue of on the day in question? I'm not on the following day when they come to Devon to fetch the keys. I'm saying on the day in question, before they give you the keys, you are there as they are storing these exhibits in the safe.
Yes, I was
at that
in front
time,
of
did
the
you
building.
not notice that the prescripts were not being complied with?
It never crossed my mind that they were never done. It was after the effect.
So at the time, you did not observe that they were not complying with the prescripts. Is that your answer?
They were not begged, yes.
You were not aware. And then you say you became aware the following day.
Yes, Commissioner.
Now, coming back to Chair's question, this is something that you now become aware of. Did you take any action against those officers?
I didn't personally take any action.
Did you instruct those below you to take appropriate steps?
I think it's a mistake that I did, but Brigadier Nyuswa
Please
became
do
aware.
this. Please answer yes or no first and then explain. I'll give you the opportunity to explain. Because what often happens, witnesses do the explanation and then they say, what was the question again? Because we got lost in the explanation. So to make it easy for you, you can answer the question and then give your explanation.
If the Commissioner wants me to answer in a yes or no, I'll say I didn't take action.
Yes.
Hence, my deputy was aware. I expected him to take action.
And when he didn't take action, because you were aware that prescripts were not followed and your deputy did not take action, what did you do about that?
My mistake was not to make a follow-up if he did take the action.
Yes.
That's my response, Commissioner.
General, I may be mistaken in my recollection of evidence, including yours. I thought the evidence is that you did, once you found these things or you saw them being put in the safe, but you saw them in the safe. So it's not a case of you did not see these exhibits on the day, on the 22nd. You saw them. You had physical sight of them before the safe was locked and you took the key. That's my recollection of the evidence.
If that is what I've said, Commissioner,
Yes.
I will say yes, because some of the things I can't recollect properly.
Yes.
But if I'm assisted, as the Commissioner is saying,
Then you would have known on the 22nd that they were not sealed in evidence bags. You didn't find out for the first time on the 23rd.
After the statement he made about the theft of the drugs and the pain he felt, the commissioners accused him of personally placing Warrant Officer Karl Sander on suspension so that he would be able to steal the drugs without further foresting investigation. This is where he shot himself in the leg and fumbled badly. He quickly ran to his statement to show them where he received the email of suspending Sander from a senior officer, but was trapped by Commissioner Baloyi. This is just a tip of an iceberg. Jabulani, please roll out the clip. Let everyone see by themselves.
the placement of Warrant Officer Sanders, the complaint, it was very serious. I think the commission has also this document, which they provided to us later, I think in the early hours of yesterday. They have this complaint whereby there was a serious allegations of Warrant Officer Sander and other members involved in the theft of cocaine at the harbour and selling it to a specific gang. I'm just worried to say names of other people that never came here, because the last time I was caused to say certain names, and I'm on litigation for your information, Commissioner, as we speak. Now, based on the allegations, they were of a serious nature that warranted that. In that process, if my memory serves me well, Colonel Jacobs was the acting provincial commander. Brigadier Nyuswa was not there. The process that I followed, I called Colonel Jacobs to come with Warrant Officer Sander. I wrote a letter. I signed it. It was flagged here. I saw this is my signature, but it was redacted. I placed him at supply chain management until the investigation is finalized. It's a process that we do in the police. Like myself now, my supervisor is an example I'm making. My supervisor has suspended me. He was placed as elsewhere. Mine is worse because evidence was given under oath before this commission, and I was suspended. So it is a process. When there are allegations against you that relate to what you are doing, you will be either placed elsewhere or suspended. He was never suspended, and he never lost any income. He got his full salary. his danger allowance, and the scare skills allowance. So the issue of the coffee machine, commissioners, in that office where he was placed, I don't remember him because I was watching the commission on that day. I don't remember him, I might be wrong, informing the commission that actually in that office there were 4 thefts. It is in the provincial office. Nobody will just come in there. A member of the public, even your good self, you will never come in. You will be escorted into the building if you are not working there. There was a theft of a camera of the state. There was a theft of a state laptop, which possesses sensitive information in that office. There was also a theft of a laminating machine. His coffee machine was the last one. The person who initiated and applied for these members that are employed in the supply chain management where this Sander was placed was initiated by Brigadier Nyoswa. I was out of office by then. The only thing I did is to sign the call-up instruction and say, all these members must go for polygraph test because there was no break-in, but things are disappearing. And I believe that was done bona fide, not to punish any person, commissioners. So those are the issues that I wanted to address, although they are not in the regulation 10.6 or on the subpoena, just to give the commissioners a clear picture as what happened. He comes here and cry and say, I subjected him to the, what you call, a polygraph test for the theft of his coffee machine. That is not correct. Maybe for lack of a better word, it is insane of me to shall have done that, commissioners. If you are a victim, then I put you on the polygraph test. That is wrong. He misled the commission. I want to pause there and continue with my statement.
Sorry, General. I'm not sure I follow that. What exactly is not correct?
It is not correct that he was subjected to polygraph examination because of the theft of his own coffee machine that was stolen in that office. It was not only him. The person who initiated everything and made arrangement is Brigadier Nyoswa. I only signed the call-up instruction. And I believe the commission is in possession of those documents. I don't have my tools of trade since they were taken when I was taken at gunpoint out of my office, my laptop, my gun, my laptop is gone, and then documents that I was supposed to prepare for my disciplinary, I was taken out of my office like somebody, I don't know, for lack of a better word, like a dog. And that thing is still a pain here. And it cost me to lie in hospital for 2 weeks. Now, I'm telling the commission here to show certain implication. I'm not requesting for any mercy, but I want to assist this commission. Now, Commissioner Kumalo, I hope I answered you, Commissioner.
Yes,
Chair,
yes.
Chair.
Yes, you have.
Pardon me, I'm addressing all of you as commissioners, but if I have to say chair, I will try and say rectify.
I am a commissioner.
Okay.
Thank you, please continue.
Or rather say justice. Commissioner Kumalo, I can answer.
In fact, General, I think you should also be alerted that, at least according to my note, Warrant Officer Sander does put Jacob in the room. He says Jacob was present when you called him in.
As far as my recollection, yes, commissioners.
And staying then on that complaint, which we have attached as LSF5, you deal with that at your paragraph 18 of your supplementary statement. And you recall that we looked at the documents relating to that complaint and how it was handled, just shortly.
You said paragraph?
Paragraph 18 of your supplementary statement, the statement we dealt with this morning.
Yes, Commissioner.
Now, that's where you introduced this complaint.
Yes, Commissioner.
It might help, perhaps, if we go, maybe let me pose my question, we may have to go there. At paragraph 18, bottom of page 8, you state, no, let's the middle of that paragraph, you received an email from General Lebeya or Major-General Suraj Bali, I apologize if I mispronounce, directing your office to engage with the complaint. Then you, further down to the bottom of the page, you state, I later received a further instruction from Major-General Suraj Bali to temporarily place the member at another post pending investigation, which instruction I carried out. I do not remember the exact date of the email. I point this out to you because the documents we have just looked at, starting with the complaint itself of 5th of February 2014, in that email chain, I cannot find where Major General Suraj Bali instructed you to place Warrant Officer Sander on temporarily place him in another post. I don't have that email. I have a series of all these emails, starting with a complaint instruction to you and progress reports from time to time. But that particular email, where General Suraj Bali so instructs you, is not to be found. Are you able to explain, perhaps?
I went to head office the day I was suspended to request this information. And then I indicated they must send it to my attorney, all this information. They only sent us the complaint. So what the commission is in possession of, I don't know how the commission got hold of it, but all I'm saying, I was complying with the directive from national office. I cannot fail to comply with the directive from head office, okay, because that might result to a serious misconduct or disregarding instructions of your senior.
So that, if I understand you correctly, the suspension of Warrant Officer Sander was not entirely your decision. You were acting on the instruction of head office to temporarily place him in another post.
Correct. It is not the suspension.
Oh,
it is the temporary placement pending the outcome of the investigation.
I'll restate that. So that temporary placement was not your decision. You executed an instruction from
Correct.
General Suraj Bali.
Remember, commissioners.
I'm trying to understand what you are saying, so I don't misquote you.
I'm clarifying to you.
Please do. Thank you.
Council. Commissioner, at National Office DPCI, in the office of the national head, there is a post called executive support at the level of a major general. The national head of the DPCI does not sit and write letters and do correspondences and everything. The person holding this post will do those type of correspondences and everything through the directive given by the national head. It's like, I'll give you an example. In my previous office, I can't call it my office now because I'm placed on suspension. I'm having a staff officer. I will tell a staff officer, let's compile a letter to do 1, 2, 3. The staff officer will type the letter, bring it to me, and then I will read it. When I'm happy, I'll sign it. It goes out to wherever it's supposed to be going. So here, I did receive that directive, and I did comply with it.
So the directive, on this explanation you are giving in the position of this Major General, the directive then would have come from General Lebeya. Not from this person, if all she is, or he is an executive assistant to General Lebeya.
Ordinarily, yes.
Yes.
Commissioner. I agree because
So the correct way to read, or how you should have expressed it, if what I'm saying is correct, what you should have said, or what you would have said is, I later received an instruction from General Lebeya. And if you like, you could have added through Major Suraj Bali, but the instruction has to be from General Lebeya, not the Major General, because she doesn't have authority to give you instructions.
Commissioner Valoyi, you are 100% on the dot.
All right, thank you.
I apologize for not wording it properly and causing this confusion for the Commission, but you are 100% on the dot.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Perhaps if we go to page 103 and 104 of the same file, we still have the same challenge whether...
What exactly did Warrant Officer Sander said about Senona when he came to the Madlanga Commission? What exactly did he expose about him? Why was he placed on suspension illegally by General Senona? The answer is in this clip, and everything was centered about the polygraph test and how the door to where the cocaine was stored got removed by a grinder. When you watch this clip, you will clearly see that General Senona is a big thief. He is obviously the criminal behind the theft of the drugs, and everything that happened was pre-planned. Jabulani, drop the bombshell now.
But we'll get there. The members they'd come out of the charge office and set up charge office outside on the veranda and were working outside. So the day shift had finished shift, the night shift had booked on, and it was now the morning shift that was on. And I recall meeting the station commander, because that's why I'm saying I'm unsure who gave me protocol to go and move the exhibits, but it would have not have been a junior member, it would have been someone high. The members were complaining, and then even standing outside the charge office, you could smell it. So now you're going to ask, how did they smuggle these drugs? Well, the tablets in this stage, it's a very unique phenomenon in South Africa. Everyone will hear you say mandrax, mandrax, mandrax. But we as South Africa have got a very unique method of sale of methaqualone. So the methaqualone is bound into a tablet, and the tablet is then taken and sold. You don't swallow the tablet. You actually crush the tablet and mix it with something else, and then you smoke it. It's actually a downer. It doesn't put you high. It relaxes you. It's actually used for PTSD and sleep deprivation therapy and a couple of other therapies. But it's known in America as Quaaludes, but its popularity is here. The market is here in South Africa. Cannot tell you why. It is. So the smell, to conceal it, it was in thick vacuum-packed plastic. That is why, if I may, if we're going to get to that crime scene, I can show you those photos. Then you can see how we dealt with them. And then those tablets, depending on the quality of the machine and the mix of the person and the chemist putting those tablets together, they either bind or they release quickly. Hence, you get a tablet or you get dust or powder. The laboratory will call it tablet pieces or powder. So the problem being is the South African Police's exhibit bags are designed in such a way that they mustn't contain certain things, or they must be not tamper-proof. They actually have holes in them, but it's not something that the public must say, oh, you've got holes in them. It's micro perforations so the bag can breathe. But that means those fumes are coming off. And the more of a concentrated substance you put in a confined space, that fume increases. Now, in the charge office, there's a small vent coming out of the armory, as per design spec. So all the fumes from the mandrax tablets were going straight into the charge office. I'm fully aware that some members did book off sick. And if the Commissioner allows me to go through my evidence, the people working with me on the scene when we recovered that, I had my partner rushed to hospital, to Mshlanga Heart Hospital, and I had a member from Customs collapse on the scene. All had to be treated by ambulance on scene at CHC. So the smell is what we're talking about here. So that's what makes you sick. It makes you nauseous. It can give you heart palpitations. Everyone reacts differently to a substance. It's not medicine. Medicine's regulated. We know what the reactions are. Drugs is a different story. Doesn't come, take one now, you feel good in 2 minutes. It could be, take one now, pass out, wake up in 2 days and you'll feel shonana, if I can say that to the Commission. So the people that were closest to it, or the people that were most vulnerable to it, were affected. Hence, they did get sick. And it is true, you do get sick.
Oh, thank you. In our ignorance, but of course it was a different substance, suspected cocaine, probably cocaine. In our ignorance, we said the cocaine was wrapped in plastic bags, placed in canvas bags, and so on and so on. And we then said, because of that packaging, there is no way that someone could smell it. But as I say, different substance. But probably we would have said the same thing even about Mandrax, maybe just purely because of the wrapping, the plastic, this and. But from what you are saying now, it seems that's simply not the case with Mandrax.
Commissioner, I can say I have got a nice experience with cocaine and methaqualone and Mandrax. Plan labs with respect of methaqualone as well. When dealing with cocaine, through training and experience, we know it's cocaine. But we don't say that. We say it's suspected cocaine. Am I going to taste it? Definitely not. That is, you don't do that. Do you sniff it to see if it is cocaine? No. We even teach you how to obtain the fume. There is an identifiable aroma to it. The drug dealers are mostly all laughing now, but anyway, the drug users will be the same. We can tell you the street ways of telling you if it's good coke or not. But let's go to the parcel. That parcel is wrapped at source and labeled at source. It's wrapped and labeled to prevent detection by narcotics machines, dogs, and humans. Sometimes I profess to be a cocaine dog myself. I find it before the dogs. So if you cannot find it by your nose, you must find it by sight. If I can say that to the Commission. Mandrax is large. Cocaine is also large in bricks. They will both give off an aroma once exposed to the atmosphere. But going back to the brick, that brick is transported by road and sea. If it gets dumped into the water, it must float or be able to be recovered. It's worth a lot of money. Therefore, it's waterproof. I've dismantled many, many, many cocaine bricks. It is layer upon layer upon layer of cling wrap, latex housing, condoms, then again more, and then tape, and then again more, to stop the fume coming out of the box, if I can say that.
And do you succeed, or do they succeed in?
They succeed.
The smell coming out.
There's no smell.
All right, thank you.
There's no smell.
Thank you, Warrant Officer.
Going back to that paragraph 5 in your statement, does this kind of incident not perhaps suggest that these storage facilities that are available may not be suitable for this kind of drugs? And so while we are speaking here about a specific case, I'm asking more of a general question, such as, does the SAPS have suitable storage facilities for a drug such as methaqualone, I think that's what you call it, that would avoid the effect in paragraph 5?
Commissioner, if I answer this question honestly, I'll get fired today. I will say no. The correct place where to store it would be something like Pretoria Forensic Science Laboratory. I'm not going to mention the other locations. I know the name of Pretoria has been mentioned. I myself have been deep into the big vault. I've been there. I've seen it. It's chaos. It's chaos. The problem is working in that chaos is exactly the question that the Commissioner is asking now is, do the people that work there be exposed to hazards? The answer is yes. The correct and only safe procedure to work inside there would be full PPE. Because if there is crystal methamphetamine, it would affect me differently. If there's methaqualone, it would affect me differently. But the danger point is, what if it was fentanyl? And we didn't know it. And we're waiting to analyze it or destroy it. And we touch it. And we die. So, in all honesty, I believe the whole world will tell you this as well. The storage of exhibits is a problem. It's very expensive to handle them, to store them, and to dispose of them. But I'm sure our competent members from the police management, they are doing their utmost to get us the best place to store exhibits like that. But exhibits like this are hazardous.
Thank you.
Let me use the street name, if that's what it is, Mendrex. But unlike Mendrex, if storage was available at Isipingo, could the 541 kg have been stored in Isipingo?
Yes.
So there wouldn't have been similar issues as with the Mendrex. No question of this would make us sick and so on and so on. If there was no issue about storage space, that could have been stored at Isipingo.
Yes, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners. Now, before we go to the 2020 bus that you reference in your statement, I understand you to be saying that Colonel Jacob asked you to depose to this statement because he was submitting a statement to the Commission regarding the Port Shepstone theft.
That's correct.
Do you have any personal knowledge about the Port Shepstone theft matter?
I was a suspect. I was called in, I was polygraphed for it. I was never there. That's all I know about the Port Shepstone matter.
When you say you were a suspect, who made you a suspect?
Our General?
General Senona.
Correct.
Can you just take us step by step as to how you got involved, how you were approached about the polygraph?
I was on leave. Came back to work. It was all over social media that the stuff had been stolen. Got back to the office. Our senior managers came into the office one day, said what they needed to say, and then we were told that we are all suspects. Obviously, I did not agree with that. And then we were sent for polygraphs.
Who is we?